What up? What's good? What's good? Boy, cord is tangled up, man. The fuck? Trying to straighten that shit out. What up? What up? Welcome back to ACS Universe Daily. Sorry about that no show yesterday. Really wasn't that much news to talk about. Plus, I got instant replay going on at the same time. So, I'm a busy dude these days. Busy dude. But I'm back for the daily show today. Yeah, so let's get this shit started, man. Let's get it started. Bam. Hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you're enjoying life right now. I hope it's treating you well. Let's see. Work was all right, I guess. Got a good workout in. Got a new restaurant that just opened in my town, Jack's. I don't know if y'all have Jack's where y'all are at, whoever's watching, but we just got one in my town. Jack's food is fire, and it's like reasonably priced, like fast food. It's dope. It's dope, right? Just open, and obviously, you know, your boy, when shit like that opens close to me, it's usually a week or two before I get to run up in there, just because, you know, it looked insane. Like there was a drive-through line was out in the street all the way up the fucking road and shit. So I was like, yeah, I'll wait on that. I'll wait till everybody calms down on the Jacks real quick. You know what I'm saying? All right. So you saw a thumbnail. Obviously, Ahsoka. It's been impressive so far. Very good show. And then very good series. And then last night was the coup de grace. If they can still go up from part 5 of Ahsoka, that shit was dope. Part 5 of Ahsoka, and I'll talk about it in just a bit, was incredible, man. Fire. So, yeah, no, I'll be talking about that toward the end of the show in just a little bit. Got a couple things, you know what I'm saying, stuff I saw today, stuff like that. But, yeah, Ahsoka, very, very, very impressive, very fucking, it's just good, man. It's just good. I don't know. It's just good. Now, when I talk about it, I will be doing some mild spoilery things. I mean, obviously, look, there's a lot of stuff that's taking place in this that I've seen online today, pictures, and most people have been good. Like everything I'm gonna bring up, people have hidden those from people. So, look, I'll give you fair warning before I start talking spoilers for Ahsoka. Don't worry, you will get warned. But, excuse me. Man, boy, throat is dry. Anyway, people have been good about hiding spoilers, right? So I will give you a warning. Of course, I'm not going to go deep diving into what I think a lot of stuff means until the season's over with. But I will be talking about it because that shit was dope. That shit was fire. So what's up? My wife in the house was good and lovely. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's start the show like I do every time. Stuff I saw today.
What the hell is that?
Fucking ridiculous. Hold on, let me get this. My bad, you know. Shit happens. So firstly, some stuff I did see today. Hold on, I gotta put my here we go. So I saw that. Firstly, let's look at this. Obviously, since James Wan, he was asked on if Affleck or Keaton's Batman appear in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. The best thing I would say about this movie is that it is not connected in any way to any of those films. That's the bottom line, because James Wan fucking said so, bro. Like literally. So let's take a look. Let's get deeper into this. Let me see if there's some more quotes. So he just basically told everybody, don't expect to see any kind of fucking correlation with any kind of Snyder's universe in Aquaman. I mean, besides Jason Momoa, obviously, I guess, right? Entertainment Weekly. James Wan dives deep into Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and the DCU changing tides. Also, this came out today, this article. I bet this interview happened some time ago. They were waiting until they started ramping up their what's the word I'm looking for? They started ramping shit up to sort of get people to go see this movie in December, right? So we saw Monday or Sunday Night Football. That's right. During Sunday Night Football, when the Giants was getting them cheeks clapped, they dropped a trailer teaser, right? Saying that a trailer would be out on Thursday. So Thursday Night Football, expect something early in that game to be, to happen or whatever. And, we'll talk about it accordingly, right? I see a place a lot of sequences full of potential spoilers, but the Lost Kingdom and mysterious. Right. All right, so staying the course, a good picture of the Black Manta right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, the eyes, bro. What's good with the emerald eyes? It's got something to do with that staff, the black staff, bro. I'm guessing. Staying the course. And they're forced to work together, talking about Orm and Aquaman. Okay, the characters played by Nolte and Murphy Vickard on the main streets of San Francisco. Also do so by traversing far more bizarre terrain and encountering characters much weirder than redneck bar patrons along the way. Okay, Michael Key. So here we go. Today, Juan emphasized that his plan for Aquaman 2 has remained the same since the beginning, despite what you may have read in the press. The Hollywood Reporter published an article in July of this year about the film's allegedly torturous post-production. The piece claimed that Juan had overseen 3 rounds of reshoots in the recent taking place just a month before and had been forced to separately film footage of Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton for planned appearances by Batman in the film because of the changes in Warner Bros. Release slate, my bad. And if it's true to both, Juan replies, the tricky thing early on was not knowing whether Aquaman would come out first or come out after The Flash. That's insane, bro. How do you make a blockbuster film and you don't know where that shit's going to fall in said universe? So we just had to be prepared, all right? At the end of the day, the best thing I would say about this movie is that it is not connected to in any way to any of those films. The bottom line. That's the bottom line. So Batman does not appear in Aquaman 2. That's a no comment right now. The director says you're going to have to wait for them. Okay. So Batman does not appear in Aquaman 2. That's a no comment right now. The director says you're going to have to wait for the movie to come out. Either he doesn't know, either he's turned in footage, right? Let's be clear here. Let's get real clear. Either he has turned in footage with because we're going to see some stuff. We saw the picture right there on the fucking tweet, right? Either he doesn't know because he's not editing his own shit, like I'm sure, or for some reason, or somebody has told him not to spoil. Hey, don't tell him Batman ain't in it. They might not come see this thing, bro. Don't tell him he ain't in there, man. They might not come. That's what I think. By no means do I think if there's Batman, this right here, again. Let me pull this back up. Again, right here. So Batman does not appear in Aquaman 2. Let me zoom this in for y'all real quick. So if you see right here, it says, so the question was asked to James Wan. So Batman does not appear in Aquaman 2. That's a no comment right now. The director says you're going to have to wait for the movie to come out. Like I just said, to me, what that means is he filmed scenes and he don't know. He does not know what Warner Brothers is going to edit in and out of his movie. And so he don't know, or he ain't in there at all. And they said, don't tell him that because they won't come see the movie. Let him think that Batman's in there so they'll come watch this motherfucker. Right? That's what I think. That's just my opinion. I haven't heard any inside nothing because I don't have like inside connections or anything. So like, that's just what I think. Reading that is that he doesn't know. He really doesn't know. He said that's a no comment for me. Of course he's going to say that, but because it'd be different if I don't think it's because he doesn't want to spoil something. Right? I don't think it's because he don't want to spoil something because that shit has already been spoiled when Jason Momoa put those pictures out there last year, okay, of him and Ben Affleck on set filming some scenes. So either he doesn't know or they told him, hey man, don't tell nobody Batman ain't in this because if not, they ain't going to come see it. Okay? That's my thoughts. This is my thoughts. Could be totally fucking wrong. I always say that. Could be wrong. If so, I'll admit I was wrong. But that's just what I think about that. So anyway, just to wrap that up. So you hold on. So this was a tweet. James Wan on the Affleck will appear in Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. The best thing I would say about this movie is that it is not connected in any way to any of those films. That's the bottom line. So I just read through the article a little bit, and for me, that question was asked at the end. It seemed as though he doesn't know. I think he probably filmed scenes, and they might not even end up in the movie, so he literally does not know. He doesn't want to tell somebody. And the other part was, I don't think it's him trying to be coy. I think that somebody told him, Batman ain't in this movie. Don't tell nobody that shit pre-time, because I want everybody to go see it looking for Batman. So anyway, let's move on. Another superhero movie. A new IMDb listing for Channing Tatum's stunt double has been added to the crew list for Deadpool 3. Now, does that mean necessarily that Channing Tatum's going to be in? No, but considering the movie and considering that he has been rumored to be making appearances, Gambit in the film, that would lead you to believe. So that's dope news right there. To finally see Channing Tatum in the Gambit garb. You know what I'm most interested in? I want to see what he sounds like when he tries to talk like a Creole. I want to know what he sounds like when he tries to talk like he's from New Orleans, bro. Is he gonna have that twang in his voice like Gambit does? That's what I want to know. And if he is it gonna be good, or is it gonna be like, okay, bro, stop, just talk regular. Just talk regular, man. You know what I'm saying? Just talk regular. You know what? As a matter of fact, that's something when it comes to Deadpool, or when it comes to Channing Tatum's Gambit. I've never heard people talking about, man, I hope he sounds right. He might not. And then you might hear him try to do the accent and be like I just said, bruh, just do you regular. Just talk regular. Don't do that no more. Anyway, I thought this was cool. I saw this. If you notice what style of Wonder Woman this is as well. Superhero-sized Wonder Woman statue unveiled at Bow Valley College. Now, I think this is overseas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look how they spelled center for entertainment. Yeah, so this is not in America, but the statue, which is supposed to be like 7 feet tall, bro. She is 7 foot 6 inches tall, bro. 7.5 feet tall, which is probably what she'd be. She just exemplifies something our students would resonate with, and there are other pictures of the statue right there. And if you notice, it's Gal. It's fucking Zack Snyder's Wonder Woman, bro. The suit, the straps, the shield, all of that shit, man, is you know, or it's Zack Snyder. I was gonna say Patty Jenkins, but yeah, this is dope. This is dope. I saw that today and I was like, oh, that's very interesting, man. Imagine, let's see if it imagine walking to some campus and you see that huge...
A classic superhero character is going to college. Gina Martin has more on a massive statue sparking awe and wonder in the next generation of film and gaming creators.
Uh-oh. I didn't watch this little thing earlier either, so let's see. Come on, clip. You gonna play? What? All right, so I guess it's not gonna play, y'all. I was hoping it would, though. Damn. You can pause it and play it. See it. And no, it's not going to do it.
She's the first female superhero to capture the world's attention.
Hey!
From comic books to blockbuster movies, Wonder Woman has been an icon for decades. Now, the Amazon warrior princess has a new mission.
Well, that statue's fire!
Keeping a watchful eye on the students at Bow Valley College.
Well, I saw it for the first time put together this morning, and it was like, wow. I mean, it is so lifelike, it's beautiful, it's real.
Standing over 7 feet tall, the superhero-sized statue will reside outside of the college's Center for Entertainment Arts.
Oh, I was astonished by the size, of course, and I like the.
So there you have it, Wonder Woman statue. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, man. I gotta say, that's pretty dope. All right. Let's move on. Let's see what we got right here. Nah, that is my wife talking about this. That ain't got nothing. That looks nothing like this fire that we just heard. But anyway, Marvel Studios visual effects workers have unanimously voted in favor of unionizing. This is the first time a union of visual effects workers has ever unionized with the IATSE. That's dope. That's dope to hear. All right, here you can see Dave clapping right there. That's what we need. Let's see it. Yes. Download. What is that? Oh, okay, no more. Unity. So yeah, that's dope to hear. That's dope to see. Hopefully their conditions improve and we stop getting those stories, man. That some of those horror stories that we've been getting from that. Anyway, let's move on. Michael Cera responded to a meme on the Scott Pilgrim cast email chain 9 years after it was sent. Bro, what? I saw this. It was like what the fuck? It says he just said, "Oh, that's funny." Chris Evans responded like, "Michael, what the fuck are you doing responding to this email from 9 years ago?" Let's check that out. Let's check that out, man. Let's check it out. I'm interested. I saw this earlier and sent it to myself just to remember. Uh-oh, this is probably a huge, massive. Bread still makes you fat. Behind the scenes, Scott Pilgrim takes off with a. Let's see. I'm trying to find where they're talking about that. November 17th. Yo, let's go. I wrote this stuff 20 years ago. All right, I can't find it, man. By that night, we all kind of knew it was going. Pew. I saw Michael Cera drive by. He waved at each other, but he never showed up to the party. It was like, that's it then. But it has its own life. It's gone and on and on and on and on. The movie was almost immediately reevaluated as underseen gem. Speaking, yo, Scott Pilgrim versus is it fire fucking movie. Okay, just know that this is funny to hear that Michael Cera responded to an email 9 years later, which is ridiculous. Got this video. Y'all give me just a second. All right, y'all. I apologize. I sincerely apologize. This is interesting. Let me pause the music real quick because this is an interesting video. When they were talking about, and it's absolutely wild in 2023 to look back at the cast of Black Hawk Down and have Charlie Rose's takeaway at the time be there's no Mel Gibson, no Tom Cruise, or Tom Hanks. I get those guys bring a level of star power. Ridley Scott was insane, bro. It's literally on that level. But if this was a movie were made 5 to 10 years later, people would have asked, how did you get all those guys in the same fucking movie? So let's listen to this. Let's listen. Of course, this is what happens.
You cast it. Mm-hmm. There is no.
Of course. All right, so that's not going to happen. Sorry about that. Didn't even mean to fucking bring it up then since we ain't going to be able to fucking watch nothing about it. All right, McFarlane Toys, right? First look, Wonder Woman is the final figure from the Flashpoint Build-A-Wave. Pre-orders launched September 19th, exclusively at Target. Collect all 4 figures to assemble Cyborg. All right, this is dope. I do like this a lot. This is pretty fucking dope. The armor, the sword, the fucking all of that shit is incredible. So your boy will probably be trying to grab me one of these, right? It's wild too that they make you wait that long to complete Cyborg. If that was one of your missions was to complete that build a figure of Cyborg or whatever, but I thought that was dope. Anyway, let's move on. Alan Moore out here clapping, bruh. Clapping like he does. Alan Moore says he asked DC to send all of his royalty checks for films, TV based on his work to Black Lives Matter. I don't really feel with the recent films that they have stood by what I assume were the original principles. Let's take a look at this. Now, this was interesting to see. This was very interesting to see. Alan Moore interview, I'm giving all my screen royalties to Black Lives Matter. The comic book genre, why he's unhappy with film adaptation of his work and why there should be more fantasy than dragons and dwarfs. All right. Take this with a grain of salt because Alan Moore be saying some shit. He be clapping, right? I can't read the article because I don't want to subscribe for it down here. Anyway, if this is true, this is cool to hear that he sends all of his royalties to Black Lives Matter. That's pretty dope. As I don't really feel with the recent films that they have stood by, but I don't really feel with the recent films that they have stood by with their original principles. And you ain't the only one, Alan. Let's be real clear here. I think we're on a different wavelength with that, though. I think he's more of a remember when Zack Snyder went to Dead Watchmen, he was fucking 1,000% against that shit. So, but he's also a fucking absolute fire like writer and shit. All right. Let's see. Good. Hey, what up, Drogo? Appreciate you stopping through the daily show, homie. It's crazy that it's morning for you and it's fucking 6 p.m. for me. Like it's literally in the afternoon or the evening or whatever. So anyway, I thought that was interesting comments from Alan Moore. Let's move on. Bing. All right, y'all. Let's hold on a minute. My apologies, my bad. So here we go. Let me get this up here and shit, man. All right. So, like I said, at the start of the show, Ahsoka part 5 was fucking special. It was incredible. It was fire. I have been thoroughly impressed with the show. Now, look, and this is coming from somebody who watched some of the Clone Wars, some of Rebels, have never watched it from start to finish. I've seen here or there, you know what I'm saying? So like the moments when I would step in and catch some stuff would be, a little bit I would experience some of what was going on, but the full scope of it. That's why, like, when it came to the beginning of Ahsoka, like the first couple episodes, when it came to Ezra and stuff like that, 2:30 a.m. last night, yeah, you wilding, bro. But when it comes to stuff like Ezra, I knew of him and all of this kind of stuff, but like a lot of stuff that I didn't actually get to experience that they reference in this show. With that being said, man, this show is incredible, man. The acting, the visual effects. We know what they saved their money for. If you look at the last season of Mandalorian and be like, and other Star Wars stuff, not Andor. Andor's fire. Andor's at the opposite end of the spectrum with this. And when it comes to both levels of fire, Ahsoka fire, Andor fire. But Andor is a different story. Doesn't need to have as much as Ahsoka does when it comes to lightsabers and all of that kind of shit, right? And Andor is fire in its own right. Like I can't wait for when Andor's done, it has one more season. Please release that shit on physical media. Please, I need that in 4K, right? But when it comes to Ahsoka, bro, it's fire, man. Show is incredible, right? And so last night's episode, obviously, I'm gonna throw a couple things up here. Spoilers. I do want to tell you the spoilers for Ahsoka. I'm not gonna get really deep into spoilers. I'm just gonna show a couple clips and things of that nature. When it came to some of the things that happened, but this is incredible. And of course, let me try something, y'all. Let me try something, see if I can't get this shit to play like it's supposed to. I'm a little bit aggravated right now. Like, none of this shit wants to fucking play. Yo, what up, Phil? Hold up, man. Hold up. Let me if you can see, I'm having some fucking difficulties and it's pissing me off. Let me do this real quick. Oh, of course. Now it's playing like a fucking champ. Fuck you. God damn. What was I trying to All right. Where was I? All right. So let's see if this works now. Let's take a look now. I think I got it right. I just hit you with the link, Phil. All right, so here we go. See if it works. Here we go.
Hey, here I am. How about that?
What's good, homie?
What's up, champ? How you doing, man? What I didn't. Who the fuck? Never mind. Spam calls. Like, who the fuck is calling me? And it's just.
Oh yeah. Hey, I feel you on that,
bro. What I missed, man? I couldn't catch the show because I was driving home.
I talked about a couple things. Oh, did you see? Hold on, let me see. Did you see these comments from? We were talking about a recent from Alan Moore. Says
yeah, yeah. It's funny. I mean, there's like. You can look at it two ways, I suppose, right? You can be like, oh, fuck Alan Moore for fucking off the money he could use for whatever, but at the same time, it's like he's giving it to a great cause.
Oh yeah. But that wasn't the thing that really struck me. The thing that really struck me was his comments. I don't really feel with recent films that they have stood by what I assume were their original principles. I don't know.
That's a funny comment from him.
Yeah.
Of all
Yeah.
things, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was the one that I was like, wait a minute, what? That's why I was like, okay, this is cool with it, right? This first part, but then, yeah,
I mean, it's a pretty vague comment, right? Because like
Yeah.
which films is he exactly referring to? Because obviously, you know, he's made his feelings known about Watchmen, both the
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show and the
Mhm.
movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, are you referring to The Flash? Are you referring to Blue Beetle? Are you referring to Shazam? Are you referring to Black Adam? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of a fucking, you know, I don't know. He could be talking about any one of those movies. Hell, you know, Frank Miller, as far as I know, is the only one of comic book people outside of like a couple other prominent artists and writers who was like, oh, fuck yeah, Batman versus Superman was the shit. That's my Batman up there, right? But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
Alan Moore, and he's just like, no, fuck all that. I don't want to see any of my shit up there. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Just
he-
let
yeah.
Dave Gibbons get all the fucking credit. I don't give a damn. That industry, fuck me. DC, fuck me. I don't care. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, dude. Ever
Yeah.
float your boat, right?
Yeah. So I know I feel you. It is a weird thing, and it's almost like, you know, you wish, because Watchmen was so fucking, like the movie, like the adaptation was so good that you sort of wish he was on board for it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
sure, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's like, all right, kind of old school cat. I mean, you know, yeah. Alan Moore, I think he's done enough work.
I think his work speaks for itself to the point where if he says something critical of an adaptation of his work, he's more than inclined to 100%.
Yeah.
Now, will everyone agree with him? No, probably
No.
not.
Yeah,
Probably not.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'll talk about that. See what else. I can't remember what else I was hitting on, man. I went through it. So this shit right here is funny.
Yeah.
So Michael Cera responded to an email. Oh, the Marvel Studios visual effects have voted unanimously for
Good.
unionizing, which is fire.
Good.
So, yeah.
That's the exact thing I said. I said good.
Yeah.
Unionize. Fucking
Yes.
let them know that what they are doing with the VFX specifically is just not cool. They want to churn out. And you know what? This might not even be a Marvel Studios problem specifically, because this problem really started to arise with the Chapek era. You know, when he started mandating this, and this, right?
Yeah.
And you have to put out so many products in so many amount of time. Oh, I don't give a shit if this looks like crap. Just put all the money here. It's like, no, we want to see the best looking thing possible.
Yeah.
And you guys have been skimping on that, and it's not cool.
Yeah. No, yeah. I feel you. And so yeah. So them and plus, you know, the recent, and I don't think it's like when the stuff started coming out about them being mistreated when it came to, you know, ridiculous hours, you know, demands, what you were just now saying, like it was almost as if nobody was surprised by that. It was like, you know, and this was before the strikes even started happening. You know what I'm talking about? Like when this news started coming out about the VFX workers, it was like, yo, but nobody was surprised, because you could tell. And then when you see stuff like that, fucking, if you go back and see Endgame for the third time, you get to see this special clip we put at the end of the Hulk that was not finished. Disgusting. Yeah.
And you know, go back to Quantumania. Go back to what happened after Quantumania. Victoria Alonso got fucking let go after 14 years. And there was a comment, I'm paraphrasing here, but there was a comment, something to the effect of, directors don't make these movies. We make these movies. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
The actual fuck? Are you kidding me right now? And that really just solidifies a lot of criticisms that people had, like, oh no, that's not a director-driven studio at all. That's a producer-driven studio.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen a couple of good ones pass on or agree to do a movie with them and then pass on it, because once the finalizing of let's start making this thing comes down, they're like, well, you ain't gonna let me make none of the decisions. And
look at Patty Jenkins, Thor 2.
Yep.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect example right there. But if you look at like all of phase 1, right? All different movies directed by different people. They all had their own kind of flavor to them, not in the Marvel way, but in a very directorish kind of way. Like you could tell that Iron Man 1 and 2 were Jon Favreau flicks. You could definitely tell Captain America was a Joe Johnson flick.
Yeah.
Right. You look at Thor, it's a fucking Kenneth Branagh movie through and through. Right.
Love it.
Now, is Avengers a Joss Whedon movie? Yeah. I suppose. I mean, to me, that one just feels like, you know, yeah, Josh, do your thing, but make sure this happens. Yeah, do your thing, make sure that happens. Right.
But make sure we connect all of it. Yeah.
Right.
So there's that. And then and also I was hitting on this
my God. Yeah.
Channing Tatum stunt double was added. And I was like, hey, man. No, my main thing is you jumped on right after I got that. I was like, I want to hear the New Orleans in them. I want to hear if is it gonna sound good, or are we gonna be like, okay, Channing, just talk in your regular voice. Don't even don't even try it no more.
This to me feels like them doing what the Flash did with Nick Cage's Superman, but the difference is if this does wind up being true, if he is in fact in this movie as Gambit,
yeah,
I fucking doubt it'll look like Polar Express. You know, because I mean, I remember way back when, right before Fox got, talking to Disney about the merger, they wanted to get this movie made really bad. And it just kept falling apart at the last minute every single fucking time. But Channing Tatum was like, yeah, I'm game. I want to do it. And it's like, well, he looks like Remy, so why not? Like, make it happen.
Exactly.
If this is the place where it's going to happen, if you're going to give me Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in costume, fuck it. Why not? Bring me Channing Tatum as Gambit. I'm fucking there for it if it's true.
I've been there for it since they announced he was going to play Gambit, just because I was like, oh yeah. My only thing was, and it's funny, it's just I want to hear it. What is he? Oh, you know what I mean? His voice, that you know how Gambit talks. He has that fucking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think we've mostly become accustomed to it because of X-Men the animated show and whatever.
Right.
So
right.
And I was just talking about this right here. Somebody asked James Wan, and I pulled up the article. Here, let me do it.
It's you and me.
Yeah.
I'm Batman. You're Aquaman.
Let's hold up.
Okay.
I want to ask your opinion on this one thing he says at the end here.
Sure.
That goes on. We can spin on. Okay, no, that's not it. Fucking Yaya right there,
bro.
Up right, man. He's got the green eyes. Go with the fucking the black. What is that called? They call it the black trident.
The mythic black trident. I don't know too much about that. That's a part of Aquaman's lore that I'm not superbly familiar with. I've got the new 52 run from like the first 3 volumes. Yeah, Jeff Johns, but
I got it.
Again, I'm on record for saying that is hands down the best thing he's written in comics in fucking years since he's in recent years, I should say, because that was the last good thing he wrote IMO. But this, look, I love Yaya. I think he's fantastic. Black Manta is one of my absolute favorite DC villains ever created. And seeing that tease, man, oh man, I don't give a damn about those shitty test screenings. I don't give a fuck. James Wan has never made a bad movie, just like Zack Snyder. So to me, this one, I'm looking at Lost Kingdom. I'm like, this one actually looks really fucking good.
Yeah, you know what? I pulled. That's what I talked about it on Monday when I pulled up the teaser and I was like, yo, this. It was surprising that it just the way it dropped was weird. Everything was just weird about it. And then like watched it on Amateur Hour on Sunday, but then like rewatching it is like it's interesting. It's very interesting.
It's funny because like earlier that day, I know myself, Meg, a ton of people were like, "Where's the fucking Aquaman trailer?"
Yeah, and then it just happened.
And then Warner Brothers was like, "All right, fine, we'll give you a fucking teaser."
In front of right at the start of the Sunday night football game, no less.
Yep.
And then the next one will probably be right at the start of Thursday night football. So they said 4 days, and that's
good catch. Yeah,
that'll give you 4. So so here's what he said. Somebody they asked him finally after all of the talk, which was what you saw in the tweet or whatever. It says so Batman does not appear in Aquaman 2. He said that's a no comment right now. The director says you're going to have to wait for the movie to come out. Now, my first thoughts was he don't know. He filmed some scenes and he don't know what they're gonna chop out afterwards. Either that or somebody told him, don't tell nobody Batman's not in this movie. They won't come see it if they think Batman's not in this. Because he literally was really, really descriptive with this connects to nothing.
Yep.
He said nothing. So that would lead me to believe there ain't no Batman in this thing. But now his comment. Go ahead.
It's so strange because we all saw what happened with the Flash, right? Like we all saw the ending, and it's fucking George fucking Clooney, and it's like big fucking whoop. Now, I do recall that Gunn and Safran did like a 5-day additional reshoot, whatever the fuck way you want to spin it, whatever, right? To like try and tighten this up or whatever, right? And I'm thinking to myself, well, does that or does that not include a potential Batman? Now, with given how so much shit was cut out of the Flash, I'm more inclined to believe that no, Batman might not be in this movie. But if James Wan, being James Wan, if he says no comment, that to me could lean in the other direction. Is there a possibility? Is there a possibility that this movie takes place before the events of the Flash? Is that a possibility? And if that is the case, could we see Ben Affleck's Batman? Because, you know, they canned the Batgirl film, right? Yeah. And they fucking did not include Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne at the end of the Flash. Yeah. So that to me tells me I don't think Michael Keaton's Batman, Bruce Wayne, whatever, is going to show up in this. Now, that Ben Affleck, on the other hand, like I just said, if this film does in fact take place sometime before the events of the Flash, then yeah, I'd be a little more inclined to believe that maybe, just maybe, James Gunn was like, nah, leave Ben Affleck in there. I don't know that he'd be smart enough to do that, or would of his own volition. I don't know, because he felt compelled to cut out Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot at the end of the Flash. Yeah. So
he certainly did that for sure.
It's really a tough call. It's really a tough decision, but my gut says no. My heart wants to say yes to Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah, we always want to see Ben Affleck. Yeah, we always, and you know what? I think for us who are fans of his Bruce Wayne and Batman, sometimes it doesn't even matter whether you see him as Bruce Wayne or Batman. You just want to see Ben Affleck show up.
Bro, one of the best parts of the Flash was Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne telling Barry, "Our scars define us." That was one of the best scenes in that fucking movie. And then the fact the movie ends on a fucking dumbass joke with George Clooney just completely derails all of that for me personally. But even still, like, in the if there were a point where Aquaman needed some kind of assistance or needed some kind of communication with anyone from the league, I would certainly hope it'd be Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah. Same for sure. So yeah, that's all I hit on, man. Basically, before you hopped on here, and I was just about to jump into Ahsoka. Let me find this damn quick. All right, so this look, and I already said. Let me throw the spoiler thing back up. I mean, mild spoilers ain't gonna get into like. We'll talk about some of the things that happened, but as far as what Anakin was trying to teach Ahsoka, I kind of don't want to get on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like it because that's in the. Let me tell you, man, and I already said it before you hopped on here. This episode was special. This show has been special so far, and you know I do love the first season of Mando a lot. Andor, you already know me. Andor for me is I hold it in such high esteem. It is very, very good, and it's at two ends of the Star Wars spectrum. Andor, there's no lightsabers. There's really no star battles or any shit like that.
It's on the
Ahsoka is going to be that, right? But they still live in the same sort of universe, which is Star Wars, which you and I both really, really like and love and shit. And so, like, Ahsoka fucking has been fire. And I remember when it started, I watched the first two episodes like everybody else the night it premiered. And it was one of those things where I was like, if they can stick the landing with this, because look, Star Wars series has started off fire before and sort of gotten to the end and kind of hadn't been as good as and so this one it continues to impress me. I sat in here last night and sort of the shit came out. Beltray was good, homie. Said he loved this episode. Hey, it was dope. And watched it in awe. And I had to pause it a couple times to do some stuff. And I was like, this is really, really, this is like, I can understand why people want Filoni to direct every single fucking Star Wars show episode out there since, what this series has started. But I'm gonna play this little clip real quick, and then we'll dive into discussing, because these scenes, I was like, I wiped my eyes like, am I watching the animated show or is this fucking like live action?
Yeah.
Because they killed it, man.
This is the Clone Wars.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is the Clone Wars.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh man.
Okay, so one thing to notice when when Ahsoka and Anakin meet in the world between worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have their conversation, and then Anakin goes, you still have much to learn. One more lesson, right? And then Ahsoka goes, what else is there to learn? And then he whips out the fucking lightsaber and goes, life or death.
Yeah.
And to me,
well, hold up, but I hate to cut you off, but before that, when she says that, he walks by her and he says, "You're never too old to keep learning, Snips."
Right,
that
right,
yeah, a great line. And then that's when what you're saying, yeah.
And someone actually pointed this out to me at work. The line she says to him, "I don't want to fight you," and then he rebuttals with, "I've heard that before."
Yes.
Oh, such a great callback, dude.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's dope. So besides, I'll put it like this. Hold on. Let me. This is incredible too. I like this this comparison right here. Somebody put together of the live action and the
Animated,
obviously from the
side by
Clone
side.
Wars and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Bro, Hera's son, man, like on the cliff. I'll start here. When she hears something, she's like, "Y'all hold up," and she walks around and she's, oh man, I always forget the fucking robot's name.
Claptrap. No, that's Borderlands. Damn it.
Yeah,
Chopper.
no, not Chopper, but the
the Hugh Yang.
Yeah, Hugh Yang. She walks around and he's just holding his helmet and the music gets soft and she said, "I told them to stay together." I was like, damn. And he says, he said it twice. And I'm like, yo, that is, you know what I'm saying? Like that just hit because he literally told them, if you guys, y'all need to stay together, please. And they were like, oh yeah, we will. And they ended up not staying the fucking together. But that particular scene and yeah, Hera's fucking terrible.
It's Mary Elizabeth Winstead, man. Come on, Droga.
That's
bad.
It's hold up, Ramona Flowers.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
But I thought that shit was incredible, man. The whole thing, and he said, "No, listen, Mom," and she listens. And she said, the waves crash. He says, "No, I hear lightsabers. I hear fucking." I was like, you know what I'm saying? It was such a good, well put together scene. And then, obviously afterwards, she's like, yo, like, she's out there and she gets, what's his name? And they fucking, she tells him like fly low above
Tava.
Tava.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carson Tava. Yeah. And tells them to fly low above the stuff or whatever. And it's, that setup in itself is fire, but knowing that the entire time they keep flashing back to like Anakin and Ahsoka and these certain moments throughout their fucking whatever. And then, so what you think about all that, man? Just talk about it as much as you want, man, because it's
my interpretation of that is obviously the world between worlds is a place that transcends space and time in the Star Wars universe. Almost in a sense, you could argue that it is in a state of limbo, more or less, because how else could Ahsoka communicate with her old master, who by this point in the timeline would be a force figure? Anakin would be a force figure. Now, people are also like, well, why is he presenting himself as Anakin to Ahsoka? Because that's how she fucking remembers him.
Yes.
Right? So that whole ordeal, basically the entirety of it, I do believe that the whole concept of life or death, that was her in the world between worlds choosing, like, is this my time to die? Or is this my time do I need to continue living and go forward? Now, the rumors circulating the episode prior to the episode releasing were, it was allegedly going to be Anakin taking her through certain points, showing the portals and being like, see, no matter what you could have done, you couldn't have changed shit. I'm actually really glad that did not happen.
Yeah.
I really, really love that this was more so it was a lesson. It was more or less a final lesson from Anakin to Ahsoka. Like, if you give in to your dark tendencies, it will destroy you, much like it did me. That's why when they would go at it, one of the things I loved about this episode was the interchanging they did between showing Anakin and then showing Darth Vader.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I love the transitional sequences with that, especially when she gets booted out of the dream or the the memory or whatever, and when she gets pulled back and it's Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka again, and Anakin comes through the smoke. But they intercut it with, it's Anakin at one point, but then it's Vader again. He's got both the red and blue saber. But then the thing I also really loved was when they used Anakin with the red saber and the eyes, the yellow eyes, to more or less, it's a callback to an episode way back in the Clone Wars where I think Anakin had to face the dark version of himself, essentially the future Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so slick to see all of that come back and just get paid off in such a beautiful way. Now, I had my expectations subverted a little bit. I honest to God thought, okay, we're going to get this and then we're going to jump forward and finally see Thrawn. Nope. None of that. Nope.
Saving him.
Saving him.
So this. I think this is what you were alluding to right here. If this shit, whatever, that shit is. And when it did that, and it flashed like that, I was like, wait a minute. Did I just see that? I rewound it back, just a bit, just to make sure that's what I saw. And man,
Filoni knows what's up, dude. Filoni knows what's up. And
go ahead, keep going.
Man, dude. I just continue to think about certain aspects of this episode, and I'm just like, this is a Star Wars Rebels fan dream come true if you ever wanted to see any of this stuff in live action, especially if you're a Clone Wars fan too, because this does pay off a lot of that. And even like covering the Siege of Mandalore. Oh,
yeah, dude. Yes. Yes.
Just so much good stuff in this episode, dude. And even like her figuring out to utilize the Purrgil to get to the other galaxy. Oh my fucking God. I was just so happy to see so much of this stuff get paid off the way it was in this episode. Like, and I kind of was listening to a couple different podcasts today. Our good friend Ray at the Flightcast, he does a flight chat episode where he gets emails and talks about certain things from other people. And there's been a couple people who've been watching Star Wars a lot. I was thinking about a personal ranking of my Star Wars TV shows. Not that it really matters because we like it all.
Yeah.
But I'm like one of the few people who, weirdly enough, like Mandalorian season 3 the most. But that probably could be because I have a large affinity for the Mandalorian culture, so it was really cool for me to see that. And for this, if you're a fan of Anakin Skywalker. And if you're also a fan of Ahsoka, this is the fucking dream come true.
Look at the top picture, bro.
Exactly.
I was watching that last night, and I looked at it for a long. And obviously you're paying attention to what's going on or whatever. But at the same time, I was like, man, that and seeing it like this he makes. Let me see if I take this down. This makes it even more sort of. This makes it hit even more when people put this shit together like this, and this is. And also who was that was shouting out the actress, man? That Ariana Greenblatt. Yeah, dude. She on one right now.
One thing I also noticed, throughout the entirety of the series up to this point, if you notice, Ahsoka is majorly wearing gray attire. By the end of this episode, she's in her white attire.
Yes. Damn, somebody put that. I don't know if did I get that shit? This might be it. Hold on. Oh no, this was Captain. It says old Captain, my Captain. Yeah.
That's right.
It was. I mean, we didn't get to see him, but it was him in there because he's in the credits, like Tamar Morrison or whatever. So
yeah.
Man, look, man. God, I don't know. After this is done, right? And who knows? Obviously, Filoni's got his movie coming or whatever that's supposed to.
I was talking to a coworker about that, weirdly enough, because as far as the production timeline, not the Star Wars timeline, but like production wise, right? Like if the movie is out far enough, because I personally think the Star Wars movie that's going to get made first, if any that they've announced, not Taika Waititi's, probably the movie featuring Rey that takes place 15 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
I think that one's going to get made first.
I would call it episode 10 for now.
Tentatively episode 10. More or less, right?
Yeah.
And I think that if Ahsoka is planting the seeds for Filoni's movie, which I'm under the impression very well has a high chance of being called Heir to the Empire. I think that film could be called Heir to the Empire. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've always been open about that. I'm always wrong about Star Wars. Shit, hell, I was wrong about Marok. He wasn't Ezra. He wasn't a clone. He was a fucking night brother, and he gets literally caught up in smoke, right?
Yeah.
So, like, to me, I wonder if they're gonna do that first movie with Rey first, fine. That's totally fine. It's not like they haven't had one or two films in production at the same time. I mean, look at Rogue One and Episode 7. They did both one right after the other, maybe back to back a little bit. But I think that if the movie is kind of further down on the release schedule, there is a possibility that, you know, Mandalorian season 4, if there is one, if Ahsoka gets a second season, you could very well see more ties into Filoni's movie from those, or they could just right after this announce, yeah, we're doing this movie next. And it's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
that's it.
Could be, yeah, could be. I mean, that's if
but it's really hard to tell right now because everything is paused.
Yeah,
paused,
everything's
right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just,
and it's that's also going to be interesting too, because if they do, if which I have a feeling that they're gonna the end of this season of Ahsoka, from start to finish is gonna be fire, right? Like I think they're gonna stick, like they're gonna finish it strong. If that's the case, and it's critically loved and it's loved by the fans, and it's like that's gonna put a lot of, you know what I mean, a little bit of what's the next movie they're gonna do. They're like, you probably need to keep feeding off of that. That's what they're loving right now. So yes, that would be. And then if those things interchange, you see Rey and Ahsoka on the screen at some point in time in the future at the same fucking time, I'll probably die, to be honest.
That was my hope. That was my hope for episode 9, right? Because obviously, you know, unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed away, which led to Colin Trevorrow exiting that project, which led to the rewrite of that movie, another rewrite, and then they bring back J.J. Abrams, and then they make The Rise of Skywalker. And it's like, okay, well, this is... I like The Rise of Skywalker. I'm not one of those people who's going to fucking vehemently despise it, hate it, whatever. Like,
I don't hate it at all. Yeah, I got you.
I thoroughly enjoy that movie. And, you know, that I would say that I was a little disappointed that Ahsoka didn't make an appearance, but I would also say that it's never been hard confirmed that she lived that long.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if she is still alive, I think a perfect marriage of it all would be to have Ahsoka be a master to Rey Skywalker personally, or, you know, they very well could just go down the route of having Rey be her own master of her own future Jedi temple. And that's fine too. I'm open to any and all of it. I love Star Wars. I love theorizing about stuff like that, but like it'd be great. But I do wonder how this is going to end. Like, are they going to stay in that other galaxy? Obviously, I don't think they're going to stay in that other galaxy, because obviously Thrawn being Thrawn is he is the heir to the Empire. And I firmly believe that Thrawn taking the reins of the Empire would in some way lead to the rise of the First Order.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Because there's been a large presence of cloning throughout. Mandalorian, Boba Fett himself is a clone, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we all know Snoke is a clone body of fucking Palpatine.
Yeah.
So to me, it really does feel like if they're, and, you know, Moff Gideon, right? Like Moff Gideon was all about cloning. And so was he doing it of his own volition? Yeah, probably. But I also think there's some sense there that maybe, just maybe, Thrawn was looking at that going, not a bad idea. I just might take that up for myself.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
Because I don't know how much you know about Thrawn, but Thrawn is not necessarily the antithesis of Darth Vader, but he is a different kind of antagonist than Darth Vader. He doesn't need the Force. He doesn't need a lightsaber. He is tactical. He is military. He is all about being that strategist, and he will stop at nothing to make sure the Empire reigns supreme.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him such a formidable foe.
Yeah, like I was saying before I even start talking about it, because I've seen a bunch of the Clone Wars. Obviously, I saw the movie and stuff like that, and Rebels too. But I've never watched it from start to finish, either of those series. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would catch it here and there. Probably at some point soon, my ass is probably gonna fucking sit down and try to damn take it all in at one time. Because I you know, I know details, I know little things like that. But as far as seeing it, from start to finish, just like the relationship between Ezra and
Kanan.
No. Damn it! How did I lose her name? Just literally
Sabine.
Sabine. Yeah. I know a little bit about that, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I didn't watch and see it, you know, unfold as it did in Rebels or whatever. So, that's something I want to do. I'm sure because this has got me like, yo, this Go ahead.
I won't spoil anything, but they have Sabine and Ezra were both trained by Kanan in different respects. Obviously, Ezra was Force sensitive from the time they saw him in the first episode of Rebels, but Sabine, on the other hand, I don't know if you know this, at one point Sabine was actually the wielder of the Darksaber. and that's why she was trained by Kanan.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yep. Well, actually, she gets the Darksaber and then gives it back to Bo-Katan, who then loses it to Moff Gideon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Now, the details of it, I don't really remember because it's been so long since I've watched Rebels. Like, I watched Rebels when it debuted and kept up with it up until the last season and watched the finale and watched everything unfold. Like, Rebels is a Star Wars show that had me in fucking tears by the end of it because I'd grown to love these brand new characters so much because none of them were attached to Luke Skywalker in almost any way.
Yeah.
Or the Skywalker family. Now, when they introduced Ahsoka, obviously there's even more, ties to Clone Wars, and you can get the Anakin tie in there because obviously they brought in Darth Vader for season 2. It was really just a real perfect marriage of things that I love in Star Wars. And that fight, oh my God, that fight was just
bro. Let me tell you something. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Let's see. Spoilers, y'all see it on the screen. I think when. Yo, when he said, "I didn't teach you everything," and he cut the glass out from under her, like he cut that was incredible, dude. I was like, oh, like yeah, that shit was dope. Let's see. Yeah, it's all this shit. I want to spoil. That was dope, man. There's the dude I work with. He hadn't watched it yet, and he said, "Man, he's like, I know you be watching it." He's like, "Was that fight dope?" Because he had seen like just pictures like we just saw of damn dude.
Siege of Mandalore,
right? Yeah.
Yep, that's the Siege of Mandalore.
It looks, and it's not animated, but it looks like it because that's how close they got this shit to how the show looks, dude.
Okay, this, if I'm to assume that's what it is, this is how you utilize the volume technology appropriately.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty,
because he did say he would only use it if it made sense to fucking use it, not just to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if this makes sense to use it like this because it gives this huge backdrop in the background, like it's. Let's see if I can see if this shit'll play.
Nice work, Commander. Come on, let's go.
That was Commander Cody, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. This was watching it last night. That was probably these dudes.
Joe Rogan.
Like that shit hit, man. Like it was dope. The music.
Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I jumped out of my seat just in awe of what I was witnessing with this episode because, I grew up on the prequel movies. I grew up watching Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. Like Attack of the Clones, as weirdly enough as it is at the bottom of my Star Wars list, I still have a lot of like child memories of being super hyped for that movie because at the time my uncle had a friend who worked at Lucasfilm and he had gotten an early 9-month early copy of Attack of the Clones. So I got to see Attack of the Clones before it came out physically. And this is back in the day when you had to wait like a fucking year before things came out on physical, right?
Yeah.
So getting to see a really early cut, or not, well, yeah, I guess it would be a cut, but a really early cut of Attack of the Clones on physical form was just, I made it about 2/3 of the way through the movie, but I do also remember my uncle and my aunt taking me to see that movie in the theater. And one of the first things I ever remember about making those parallels of Star Wars was the fight between Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, and Anakin at the end of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And at the point where Obi-Wan is like, he's leveled, he's done, he's out of the fight. And it's just Anakin versus Count Dooku. When Anakin took both lightsabers, the green and blue, oh, fuck, I love that fight.
Yeah. No, it's
love
dope.
that fight.
It's dope.
When Anakin lost his hand, I went, huh, just like Luke.
Yeah.
And my aunt was like, yep, you're right. You caught that.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the first time I ever, Drogo corrected me. It's Captain Rex. Thank you. I couldn't remember if it was Cody or Rex. Thanks, Drogo. But to me, that was the first time I ever recognized a parallel in Star Wars and really understood, George Lucas's take. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that about this show because it's all poetry from all the Star Wars, dude.
It is, man. It is. And Yeah, man. Hey, yo, I appreciate you hopping on the chat about it, bro. It's like, yo, I saw it. I was like, man, I'm definitely gonna talk about this, and I'll just hit you up. But 3 episodes left. Fucking this Andor was one that Andor's season was long. No, it was 8 episodes.
12.
No, it was 9. 12. That's right. 12.
12.
That's right. So like Andor was one of those ones where like this Ahsoka feels to me like it's ending too soon, right? It feels like we're getting to the end very, very fast. And I'm like, no, but at the same time, I think it's cool because they're not going to try to overfill or you know what I'm saying? It's 8 episodes. We'll see it. And it didn't say it's a limited series. So of course she's probably coming back again whenever.
I hope so.
Yeah. Whenever this is done. So we'll see what happens at the end, man. I'm sure.
So if season 1 is Thrawn coming back, I would have to imagine that season 2 would be dealing with the after effects of that, the consequences of having this character back in this, just because he, like I mentioned earlier, he is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. And then also, I don't know if you follow Chopper on X, but he's got his own. He's got his own. It's at Chopper_Rebel. That's where I just got all those clips from. It's a funny page, man. I think I followed it. Like I saw something from it after the 2-episode premiere, and I just followed it. And it's a verified account.
Oh, okay, okay, nifty.
It's fucking but he posts just posts a bunch of shit from the show and stuff like that. But it's a good hey. We'll talk, man. If you come back on next week, we'll talk about next week's episode, bro. And then we'll get because I am Ahsoka Part 5 Shadow Warriors currently at 9. Let's see, 9.5. I'm not surprised on that making it one of the highest rated Star Wars. Yeah. Episode 6 is rumored to be 46.
Episode 4 had like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that Rotten Tomatoes matters or anything, but you know,
I don't know if I don't even know what the RT score is for episode 5. Episode 6 is rumored to be 46 minutes, bro. Bring it on to me.
They've all been about 45 minutes. Savor
I think the third one was a little bit shorter though. Like the third one I think might have been 30 something minutes if I'm not mistaken. That was the shortest one, but ever since then they've all been 4 and 5 were incredible.
Well, the first episode was like an hour.
Yeah.
Them
together were both of them together like a little bit over 2 hours, stuff like that.
But
man, we'll continue to talk about this because this show is fire, and I think they're gonna do it. I think it's gonna end just as good as it started. And
I personally think this is like the right time to do all of this because this is in a way getting to do what George Lucas couldn't do way back when he only could make 3 movies. You couldn't span out and do like a TV show or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you have a built-in fan base from not only the prequels but also the sequel trilogy who grew up watching Anakin Skywalker. This is more so leaning towards the prequel era of fans, right? Because there are fans who are older than us who look at the prequels and like throw their noses up and they scoff and they call it shit, whatever, right? But like, people like you and me who love all the shit no matter what. And people my age, more specifically, like who grew up with the prequel trilogies, getting to see Hayden Christensen come back and be embraced by everyone and actually get the love and respect that he deserved back then now. It's just such a fucking heartwarming thing for me.
Yeah, it is. And every time I see somebody who goes to any kind of con and they get to meet him recently, especially since Obi-Wan, and they take pictures, and it's just dope, man. It's dope to see that sort of like what you just said, that love after all these years and after a little span of time where people didn't like him and all of that kind of shit, man. It's good to see. It is. And this show is...
we should make it a point to go to Star Wars Celebration at some point.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be fucking lit, right? It's like every other year, but they also change locations too.
And last year's, the one that just passed, was it this
Europe,
year, right?
It was Europe.
Okay, Europe. Okay.
And I think next year is supposed to be in Japan.
Oh, okay. So then 2 more. Okay, yeah.
If they do in Anaheim, there, I will shell the fucking money to go, dude. I don't give a shit. I'll do it.
I've never been for sure. Going would be fun, dude. Just seeing people's experience there will be fucking dope. So
yeah.
Shit, I hadn't even been to what's the name, and that shit's like an 8-hour drive for me, and I've never been there to Galaxy's Edge, like in Florida or whatever.
Oh, so,
yeah. I've never been to, and that's actually pretty fucking close. Yeah,
because Georgia and Florida are like
right on top of each other.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, right on top of each other.
yeah.
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
But yo, man, I appreciate you stopping through, man, to talk about some fucking.
Of course, man. Hey, you got any plans this weekend for Batman Day?
I don't know, man. What was it? Saturday, right?
Saturday,
yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna hit the shop. I hit that shop that I discovered had been there for a couple of years. That's like 20 minutes down the road. That's pretty dope ass fucking comic shop. Yeah, that's where I get all my shit from now, man. Because it's like I can go in there and sort of browse, and it's not far, and I can get off work and just stop by there and shit.
Oh yeah,
that's dope. So yeah. But all right, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, y'all.
Course,
see
man.
y'all. Yeah, it'll be a daily show tomorrow. It'll for sure be a daily show tomorrow. And everybody out there, appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all supporting. See y'all tomorrow. Peace out. Oh shit, I fucked that up. I was about to click on the wrong thing, and I was like, wait. Oh, here we go.